Mr. B. Yesterday, we spoke about domestic violence against women. Can you give advice for the men who are facing abuse from women?
Oh, poor guys. Yes, of course. There are no differences in the rules when it comes to women or men making applications on the basis of domestic violence. I've dealt with cases. I still remember this one guy, poor guy. He was in, I don't know, somewhere in Yorkshire somewhere, who came on a spouse visa, and he told me that his wife had kept his Benson and Hedges cigarettes pack and would only give him a cigarette one day, one cigarette in a day. And he was told that if you decided to do anything else, you would be sent back on a plane to Pakistan. Now that is that domestic violence? Of course it is. That will amount to domestic violence if there is some sort of a control over you. If there's a financial control, or if there are threats being made to you that do this or else I'll get you sent back, or do this or else I'll cancel your visa. Those kind of things will always come under this. What you need to understand is that anytime anything like this is happening, you need to report. You need to make records of that. You need to report it to the police. You need to speak to your doctors. You need to let somebody know. You need to let social services know. It's not just women who need help. Men can need help as well. And if you are in a situation like that, I've again recently taken on a case where the man arrived from abroad. He got married to somebody here. The girl's family was exercising this control over him. So all his wages were going into the woman's account. The girl's brothers would come and not beat him up, but just abuse him verbally and just taunt him and call him all sorts of names and constantly threaten. If he tried to raise his voice, if he tried to answer, they would say, you're raising your voice, I'll get you sent back. Don't forget how you came here, and don't forget what power we have. So these are all things that can amount to domestic violence. I'm not saying each and every one of these situations will, but when you put a cumulative effect of everything together, you can certainly do that. So the last thing I would say, which is what I said yesterday as well, if you are on a spouse visa, which means that you've got married to a British national, ILR holder, which is indefinite leave holder, or a settled person, or a refugee, and you've come over as a spouse, and then these things are happening, then you're able to apply for indefinite leave right away. But if you're not in any one of those categories, then you will not be able to apply for indefinite leave.
What about if you're a dependent on your wife's student visa?
Yeah, well then this domestic violence thing doesn't apply. You can certainly make an application and argue that you have been subjected to this threat of being sent back or your visa being curtailed because she is the one exercising control over it. So you can make applications outside immigration rules, and this is where you need to understand, if your application does not fall within the rules, you can always make an application outside immigration rules, explain your circumstances, and ask for a discretion to be exercised in your favor.
All right, thank you, Mr. V.
You're welcome.